Good morning and welcome to our final local election candidate forum here on New Mexico Highlands University. The Department of History and Political Science welcomes you. Today we have a group of wonderful candidates who will talk to us about their aspirations for running to become a member of the Las Vegas City Schools Board members. The way in which we're going to do this is going to be the same as last week. Each candidate will get 3 minutes to talk about their platform, and then I will be looking at these questions you all are sending me and categorizing them in a way to create a meaningful, flowing conversation with each candidate, who will get 1 minute to respond to these questions. Before we continue, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask about the way we're running this thing? Yes?
You have candidates that I can't see their name tags.
Oh,
That's a concern.
that is a concern, yes. Can you see them now?
I can see that they have tags, but no. A name tag goes up here, not under that.
You have tape?
Identify yourself.
You have tape?
You have tape?
I do not have tape here. Sorry.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are we divided into east and west, so people know?
These four, East Las Vegas, those three are West Las Vegas.
Yeah.
They know.
So
Sorry,
they,
guys.
I'll hold it for you.
Okay.
I tried that and it worked.
They work.
okay. Everyone's able to see the candidates now? We have a lot more space in the front. I apologize. Yes, I apologize. This room does not have a PA system, so we're all having to speak loud, and I will tell this to the candidates as well. Please try to speak towards that camera over there and project your voice as much as possible so people in the back can hear you clearly as well.
Just to clarify, we vote for one from west and one from east, no
No.
matter where
No.
we live?
No.
No.
2 and 2.
No, 3 and 2
Two and
now.
two in your.
But we have 3.
No,
we have
3
We
from
have two.
city
2 and 2.
schools
2 and 2.
and 2 from west.
Right,
They're
but
free.
But you only
How
vote
many
in your
votes do
district, so if you live in east, you only vote for the east candidates. If you live in west, you only vote for the west candidates.
thank you,
Oh, but you
okay.
can vote for two.
2.
Oh, but you can vote for 2 as long as they're in your district.
Yes.
I got it, thank you.
Okay. The question was about who is running for what district and how many candidates will you vote in your district, and I think the answer is there are 2 districts. Everyone votes in their own district for 2 candidates.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, good. Any other questions? Good, okay. We are live on Facebook. I'm also recording this. I'm gonna be putting this on YouTube for anyone else to watch that later. Without further ado, I would like to give the floor. We will start with, on the left side with candidate Vicky.
Thank you. Would you like us to stand up or just
Yes.
sit down?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I'm Richard Vigil. I was born here in Las Vegas in Athens Hospital, but I'm actually raised in El Pueblo. First of all, I'm married to my wonderful wife, Roberta, for 37 years. I have my father, Antonio Vigil, and my mother, Felicita Vigil, and 9 brothers and 9 sisters, and I have 1 brother with me here today, Michael, which he was in the board of West Las Vegas for 4 years. I'd like to introduce again myself. The reason that I'm running for the board is for the children of West Las Vegas School District, and for equality and for sports and the academics of the school district. And right now, I'm not saying that anything is not working. I just wanna, the reason I'm running is I wanna bring new ideas into what's the school district and see if the people desire to elect me. I will give more than 150% to what's happening at the school district with different things that go on in the school district from A to Z, and make sure that everything is covered in that manner. And thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Christine Ludy. I am the daughter of Leo and Vino Armijo, who have since passed. I have 9 siblings. I'm married to Gary Ludy, the commander of the VFW. I have 2 daughters, Kim Ludy and Rebecca Esquivel, who is also a pre-K teacher in Rio Rancho. I have 12 grandchildren, 13 great-grandchildren, and over 250 nieces and nephews that have either attended or are attending New Mexico Public Schools. I'm in my 5th term of being a school board member, which puts me over 20 years of being a school board member. I've held the positions of board president, vice president, secretary. I am currently the secretary of our board. I have been our region president, which consists of 13 schools within northern New Mexico. I've been on the New Mexico School Board Association Board of Directors. I have held the position, been elected to the New Mexico School Board Association as secretary, vice president, president, and I am currently the past president. I've held positions at the National School Board Association on the nominating committee. I've been awarded the 2023 New Mexico School Board Association Hall of Fame Award. In 2024, West Las Vegas School Board was awarded School Board of the Year in a large district. And I hope to continue doing and advocating for our students. I know that we have at the federal level a lot of work to do with public education, and I want to continue doing that in the future. Thank you.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Linda Montoya. My maiden name was Martinez. I'm the daughter of Donald Tiny Martinez and Scotty Martinez, who both of them have passed away. I have 5 siblings, 1 sister and 4 brothers. And it was hard growing up with 4 brothers. I learned a lot. Anyway, I have 2 granddaughters. Isabel, who is going to be 24 next Saturday and has already graduated from college. And my youngest one is 21 and she's a junior here at Highlands University. I spent 36 years as an educator. I started my teaching career in Mora, taught there for 2 years, riding back and forth. In fact, I had a young man whose father had been the superintendent there. He moved to Las Vegas. So he said, I guess it must have been around March, can you give Michael a ride home every day? So he would come to my classroom, he'd pick up a stack of books, and he would read all of those books on the drive home. So I started as a teacher at the elementary, then the middle school, then up to the high school, and then in '89, I became a high school counselor. I also coached for 25 years. Like Christine, we're part of the New Mexico School Board Association, where I'm on the board of directors. I'm the president of the region association and have been doing everything I can for our school. I love our students. As a counselor, I mean, I guess I could give you all these statistics. I remember class of 2005, we had 90% of our students go on to higher education. And we kept that up for many, many years. We have some wonderful kids. We get involved in other than board meetings. Like right now, we're helping with homecoming is coming up this next week. And the school is honoring the 1968 and 1978 state baseball teams. I guess they got minor honors back when they did it, but trying to find all these men that are my age, trying to find them and get them over here. So we look forward to that, and we just love our school, our kids, and thank you for coming.
Good morning, my name is Elaine Martinez Gonzalez. I have been here in the Las Vegas community since 1987 when I came to school here at New Mexico Highlands University. I graduated from Highlands with a degree in education, educational leadership. I have a master's in educational leadership and also a degree in HPLS and coaching. My husband is Leroy Gonzalez. He is a teacher. He's been a teacher in the district for 24 years. He's also been a very successful coach in the district as well. He's coached football and baseball in the district for many years. I have two sons that graduated from Robertson. They are Robertson alumni. My daughter-in-law, she is a teacher at Memorial Middle School, and I do have, recently I have a 6-week-old granddaughter. Her name is Sailor. So I have experience in the school districts. I've been in the school districts for 25 years. I recently retired. I worked at West Las Vegas for 20 years, and I was at Las Vegas City Schools for 5 years. Through the 25 years that I've been there, I have experience in different areas of the school district. So I've worked with federal programs, so Title I, Title II, Title III, Title IV, Title IX. I've worked with all federal programs. I have knowledge in reporting for Title IX and reporting for Title IX. I worked with homeless students, and I've also been the foster care liaison in the district. As far as homeless students, we may think that our community does not have homeless students. Technically, it doesn't mean that they're in the streets, but it does mean that they're doubling up with someone or someone else is taking care of those students. So there's a lot of students in our community that need the help as far as basic needs to attend school. There's after school programming, summer programs, enrichment programs, online programs, implementation of highly qualified instructional materials, curriculum development, grant management and writing, school budgets, RFP reviews, development of credit recovery programs, CTE programs. I was able to do a lot with CTE programs before I left the district, buying equipment, that kind of stuff. I can go into more detail if anyone asks a question. That's me. My time is short.
I don't think I'm going to be that long, so. Good morning. My name is Donald Garcia Jr. I'm probably known better in this community as Herc. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for hosting this forum today and allowing constituents the opportunity to get to know me a little bit better, okay? I was born and raised right here in Las Vegas. I am a proud graduate of Robertson High School, class of '89. My father, Donald Garcia Sr., who actually owned the hair shack down there on Douglas, he instilled in me the importance of strong work ethic. From a young age, he taught me the value of $1 and how to work for and earn what you want. My mother, Laura Garcia, which actually worked at the hair shack also, she instilled in me kindness, empathy, and patience, and understanding. I can assure you that I would bring all of these qualities to the table if elected to the Las Vegas City School Board. My wife Jennifer and I have been married for 10 years. She was also a graduate of Robertson High School, class of 1995. Together, we have fostered and adopted our two little ones, Calvin, who is 8, and our daughter Iris, who is 7. My daughter Deandra, 25, she graduated from Robertson High School in 2018. My roots in this community most definitely run deep and proud. After living in the Santa Fe and Albuquerque area for a number of years, my family and I relocated back to Las Vegas. Upon our move back, I began to notice a decline in enrollment with the Las Vegas City School District. Graduating classes have gotten smaller, and the number of students participating in extracurricular activities such as band and athletic programs have declined. In addition, numerous teachers have left the city schools to teach elsewhere. Taking notice of these things over the last few years inevitably piqued my interest in running for this position. I am ready to learn how and can help meet the needs of students, families, and faculty staff, and the community. I'm only able to listen and facilitate the changes needed to ensure that the Las Vegas City School District and the population it serves thrives. Together, let's bring back the students. Let's bring back those teachers the district so desperately needs. Let's bring back the pride and the humble. I ask for your support, excuse me, and your vote on November 4th. I am Donald Garcia Jr., number 2 on the ballot. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name is Michael Quintana. I am a graduate of Robertson High School. I'm born and raised in Las Vegas. My father was Robert. A lot of people knew him as Bobby Quintana. My mom is Lorelei Almanzar. They're both graduates of Robertson High School. I have 2 daughters that have graduated from Robertson High School. One is attending Highlands University in the nurse practitioner program. And I have another daughter that just graduated from Robertson High School that is attending University of Colorado, Colorado Springs on an athletic scholarship. My youngest daughter is in 7th grade, and she's attending the Memorial Middle School program at Robertson. I am self-employed for the last 24 years, since I was 24 years old. I sit on various boards. I'm the chairman of the Community First Bank holding company. I am the president of Story Project Water Association. I am the president of Los Fonderos Acequia. I'm the president of El Llano Acequia. And I have been on the Las Vegas City School Board for the last 4 years. I am the current president for the last 2 years. Some might ask how I have the time to do this and why I do this. In fact, there was a gentleman that asked me this morning that I've known for a long time. And I'm here to make it better. I'm trying. There is a lot of change at Robertson High School or Las Vegas City Schools. We have lost 35% of our enrollment, what Mr. Garcia stated, in the last 10 years. This is a fact that comes from PED. We have lost 700 students in 10 years since 2015. There has to be change in Las Vegas City Schools. We are currently changing a lot of stuff. A previous board before me did some right sizing based on the enrollment that we had, and they closed various schools. By doing that, we never downsized our faculty or staff. Our budget is dictated on enrollment. By losing 700 kids, our budget drastically changed. We do get various funds, grants, and in fact, we have an SB9 bond that's out for election, which we haven't done in several years. It does not raise our property taxes, so I hope our community will support that SB9 because that is a $12 million bond, which will help our facilities. Our facilities are in disarray. Our maintenance department cannot keep up with them. My parents attended Robertson High School in the 70s, and Robertson High School has not changed since the 70s. There's new paint and new things that go up, and there's new things for athletics. It's not all about sports. I love sports, obviously. My daughter was a graduate and has an athletic scholarship due to sports and due to Robertson athletics, but it is not about sports. They're student athletes, student first, athlete means second. We have got to put the money back into the classroom where it belongs. Our current superintendent gave $750 back to every single classroom for every teacher to buy materials for their class. First time it's ever been done. We are trying to do what we can with what we got, and it is very difficult. That's who I am. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Dr. Kimberly Blea. I was born and raised in Las Vegas. I'm a graduate of Robertson High School. I graduated in 2003. I was very fortunate to be able to come to Highlands University and earn both a bachelor's degree in political science, a master's degree in public affairs, and then go on to the University of New Mexico to earn a doctorate degree in educational leadership. In addition to this, I have been employed at New Mexico Highlands University for over 19 years. I currently serve as the Vice President of Student Affairs here at the university. I'm grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded to me in the community. I have been extremely involved throughout my years in a number of community organizations. I see Dr. Casey in the back, and I recall when I first met her and we served on the Health Council together. I have been involved in the DWI program. I have been involved in the wrote a grant and had the San Miguel County Substance Abuse Prevention Coalition. I currently serve as the board president of Kids Counseling. I was very involved with 100% San Miguel County, specifically the Education Action Committee. I have served on the Mora San Miguel Long-Term Recovery Board. I have served in a variety of ways, volunteering as a team mom for our youth sports in the community. My daughter Alma is in 7th grade at Memorial Middle School, and my son Rico Jr. is in 1st grade at Los Niños Elementary. I share my experience with you because this is my community. This is a community that raised me, and I feel that because I have been afforded a number of privileges through education, it's an opportunity for me to give back and contribute and use that expertise to help make the district better. So I look forward to engaging in this conversation with you all today and sharing more about the vision and the expertise that I bring to this position. I have a number of years of experience in administration. I understand the way boards should work. I understand how state funding works, how budgets work, how policy, compliance, but most importantly, I bring the perspective of a parent. I understand that teachers are at the core of supporting our students to thrive in the classroom. I'm extremely invested in student well-being and holistic student success, and I look forward to sharing more with you about all that entails. Thank you.
Thank you all candidates. Next, I'm gonna read a question from 4 different question cards that came. This is the question that everyone I think wants to ask, and it is about positive change. All right. I'm gonna read how everyone has the same question, so it's gonna take a second. How do you, as a board member, plan on implementing positive energy throughout the schools? What would you do to help change the culture at schools from the top down to the teachers, students, and parents? What does positive and change mean for the schools in Las Vegas, New Mexico? Are our students best served by 2 boards? That's not the part I want to ask. Sorry. What changes do you hope to bring to the board? What would be your priorities as a board member? So the question is, what's the positive change you are hoping to bring to the board? Start from this end.
Sure.
Remember 1 minute.
Yes,
Yes.
Positive change, I think, starts at the top with establishing a culture. It's imperative for our students in the district to understand 2 things: a sense of possibility, what they can accomplish in life, but also a sense of belonging in which they are supported academically, they're supported personally in their own growth, they have basic needs supports that they need, their social emotional learning is supported, and then finally also that our teachers are supported. I strongly feel that there needs to be appropriate professional development. Teachers need to be able to focus on what they do well, which is teach. And sometimes that's difficult for them to do when they're, may have a student who's disruptive, or they have a student who is having some challenges. And so I think a positive change is about changing the culture, but it starts with our teachers, our students, and our families working together with the leadership at the top, from the board to the superintendent. Thank you.
We talk about culture. We have currently been changing the culture in the last 2 years. There's drastic changes that have happened at Las Vegas City Schools, and I'm sure the community has heard some of them. Our superintendent is holding kids, faculty accountable, and parents as well. That's something that we need to do. It's in a positive way by holding these kids, not crucifying them when they do make a mistake and stub their toe, but letting them know that when they do wrong, that there is consequences for their actions. Some of the main points that I know you mentioned about what we do on the board, and one of our main focuses is our facilities. Our facilities, like I mentioned before, are in very bad shape. Myself and the current superintendent, went to the state and asked for funding. We received $63 million. We are going to be building a new Memorial Middle School and a new elementary, 4th through 8th. It'll be at the old Memorial Middle School site, and they will have 2 cafeterias, 2 gyms, and this is how we will isolate between the age groups. The middle school that we have currently right now is not a good environment. Sorry.
All right, that's the change. That's what I'm running my campaign on, a positive change. All right, first thing we have to do is transparency. We have to follow protocols and meetings, like the Open Meeting Act, make the district more inclusive, bring back approachability. The community should feel comfortable bringing questions and concerns to the board. Gosh, I have a bunch of stuff and I only have a minute, I'm sorry. Oh, shoot. Priorities, the student safety and health. Ensure that all safety protocols and procedures are being followed. Balance the budget. I don't know anything about the budget. I would be brand new coming in here, so I would have to learn all that. But ensure, that's pretty much in a nutshell, because I had a little bit further depth, but I only have a minute. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yes, I will piggyback off of what they're saying. We need to change the culture, yes, but we need to change it to where staff and students and students want to be in our schools. If our students are feeling that our staff are not wanting to be there, then they're not going to want to be there. So I believe that's a big deal as far as making sure that our staff, our teachers, everyone has what they need to be able to teach in the classrooms. We need to fix, I believe that we need to fix that first. Then we can move on to building things and doing that kind of thing, but we have to fix what is needed for our students. Bring up test scores, that kind of thing. Focus on what we need as far as kids that are needing the extra help. I think that, like I said, if our teachers want to be there, if our admin wants to be there, then our students will want to be there. So I believe that's the change we need. We need to have a better culture for our students, and a positive culture, and a place where they feel like they're wanted and needed.
Okay, so I hope this doesn't sound strange, but we have a very positive culture. Our culture has been around since I was in school in the 60s, graduated in 69, and we are a family. I mean, there's a couple of students, former students in here. There's parents whose kids have come to us, and I think they would all agree that our culture is just great. We're going in a very positive direction. We have added several CTE programs. We've put in new HVAC all over the place. We have wrought iron fencing on every school site for safety. The kids love being there. Right now, I can't remember, we have what, 500 teachers, something like that. Every single position is filled with a certified teacher. We have no long-term subs. The kids are enjoying coming to school, and it's a great place.
I think back off of that one, she already said everything that we're As she mentioned, our enrollment has increased. We are right now at 1605 students district-wide for 25-26 school year. We've had 1575 in 23-24 school year, and up 1232 students in 2018 to 2019. We have our math proficiency has gone up, our reading proficiencies have gone up. We've added beautiful athletic facilities. As she mentioned, we offer CTE programs, which includes automotive, culinary arts, graphic design. We've got so many more. We have a writing club where our students do poetry. These are students that don't necessarily fit the culture of athletics. So we have that, and we just introduced it to our middle school. Thank you.
Thank you. I piggyback on, I'm a graduate of West Las Vegas. I worked a lot, West Las Vegas for 47 years. I was a bus contractor. I know what business is. Business is hard, okay? I want to show, the reason I'm running is I want to bring very prosperity to the school. As all of you know, I'm from the Valley area, okay? And I want to bring the kids from the Valley into town and show what the kids in town have, okay? I want equity. That's what the people are asking when I'm going to different house to house. Thank you. And I know what they built, and I want to build it greater, okay? I was a state representative for over 14 years. I have the ability to go to Santa Fe and help with different senators, different representatives. I know the representatives, the senators from Congress. Everything is working together, but most of all, working together with the parents and the children. I know because I drove for 47 years. Children tell you when they're getting in the bus what they're doing. Thank you very much.
Can I ask, what's CTE?
Career technical education.
Thank you.
Sorry, we're used to norms.
Yes.
Acronym.
You speak, thank you. Next question is, how would you recruit and retain quality and qualified teachers?
You first?
Yes.
Well, that's really important for the board. So that's where the board makes the decision of bringing a superintendent that is willing to go out there to the different universities, different colleges, and putting out in Facebook, YouTube, everything to see, to bring in quality and great teachers from all over the state of Mexico. People love Las Vegas. I know because I'm everywhere. I run a CDL school here in Las Vegas. I go to different parts of the state to go teach, and everybody's just want to say Las Vegas. I love that place. I go there, I stop, I eat, I talk to people. They're fantastic out there. The best way to recruit, and now as with the college that we have here in Highlands University, this college was known for the #1 for teachers, to quality teachers to get out here to the local community. We want to do that, inspire that, and now also that'll be in the Luna board. Hopefully I can work with Luna and start it there and move him up to the university. Thank you.
That question, please, because I want to be prepared for this.
Okay. How would you recruit and retain quality and qualified teachers?
Well, as it was already mentioned before, we've got all high qualified teachers in. We have no open positions for any teacher that might have. Every elementary school is got their qualified teachers. Ancillary staff is kind of the hard one to get, because ancillary staff, which is your people that take care of our special ed students, is hard because of the pay. In public education, they don't give as much money as you would get out in the real world. So therefore, getting ancillary staff is a little bit harder to get. But we are staffed with them right now. So with that, I don't think we have a problem with qualified teachers in our district. Thank you.
Yeah, right now, we're not having a problem, but if, you know, like every school in, I think, New Mexico, you might have trouble finding a math teacher. You might have trouble finding a science teacher. Thank goodness right now, we're doing great. And a lot of it is not just from this university, although Highlands sent a lot of us into the educational system here, but word of mouth. A lot of our teachers, in fact, when we had orientation this year, I was standing at the front door passing out, you know, door prize tickets. Found out that, I don't know, maybe half of the staff are some of my former students that have come back to West Las Vegas to teach or to coach or to whatever it is that they do. And it's such a wonderful feeling to see our kids coming back and wanting to give back to the school that taught them. So we're good.
So as far as qualified teachers, there, you know, we would have to promote what we have in our school so that we could recruit qualified teachers in those positions. The other thing is that Title II funding, you're able to provide incentives to recruit teachers into your district. So those are funds that could be used to maybe recruit some of the teachers to come into your district by providing some type of stipend for them to come to your district. So it was recruiting qualified and
Retaining them.
And of course, just helping them if they're needing to get endorsements or further their education to be able to stay in your schools. Again, Title II funding can help with providing the money to help them receive their endorsements and that kind of thing, so that they can further their education and want to stay in your school district.
Right now, there is not that many students that are going to college that are going into teaching. The only thing I can think of is retaining qualified teachers is network with Highlands. They're here in our backyard. They're doing their student teaching with our Las Vegas city and with West Las Vegas. Let's give them some kind of incentive or something for them to stay, pay for everything else they need to get with their education. That's what I have. Thank you.
So recruiting, like everybody else has talked about here on this panel, one of the biggest advocates that we have is Highlands University. Like Ms. Gonzalez and Dr. Blea have both attended Highlands University and both have degrees in education. We need to work with Highlands as much as possible. I sit in meetings with Dr. Wolf, the president of Highlands University, quite often, and we discuss these things on how we can work together, not only as recruiting teachers, but recruiting for our trades, our CTE program. Just like Mr. Garcia stated, our kids aren't going to college. A lot of them are wanting to go to trades, just like myself. So we are pushing that really big right now. Retention, to keep retention is having our admin and our superintendent to work together with our staff, hand in hand, day to day. I see Mr. Gutierrez at West Las Vegas, he's working the sidewalks, he's doing all that stuff, that's what helps. And our superintendent is currently trying to do that as well. I forgot there was another third part. Retaining, I just kind of discussed.
Quality and qualified.
Quality is hard to retain right now. Teachers right now that graduate, we're getting TESOL endorsements, bilingual endorsements, reading endorsements. Nobody wants to do that anymore. I'm sorry. 1 minute, too short.
So I bring the perspective, first of all, of needing to understand the budget. I believe it's important to ensure that the budget is in a place where we can do a classification and compensation study and understand district-wide where we have opportunity to improve funding for our educators as well as for our ancillary staff. And also benchmark where we are at in comparison to comparable districts. Looking also in the budget, is there the ability to do sign-on bonuses to incentivize educators to get additional endorsements and certifications? In addition to that, let's talk about the pipeline. I'll be honest with you, Highlands is a great institution, but we don't have the same number of education students here that we did when some of the individuals up here received their degree. So we have to be creative in building partnerships and pipelines with other institutions, not just here at Highlands, not just with Luna, but in the northern part of the state. In addition to that, retention is important. How do we continue to support the educators and the staff so they want to stay in the district? Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is about academic programs, especially those that are not really related to athletics. That's part of a question that it's been a pattern in the questions I've received. So I will read 3 questions that have the same spirit. What are your future plans to enhance the educational value of our children? What is your plan to improve academics and not focus so much on sports? In light of past Las Vegas City School District discussions about building an athletic complex on the site of the old Paul D. Henry building, potentially named Leroy Gonzalez Athletic Complex, if elected, would this be a past discussion brought to the table by the newly elected board? Or do you believe that space should be dedicated to expanding trade programs and preparing students for life after graduation? Athletics can be powerful, but education and career readiness offer lifelong value. How do you see that balance?
So what's that question?
The question is, what is your plan to improve academics and not focus so much on sports? But it has been asked in a very detailed way by a couple of other people, so I wanted to make sure that their voices were heard. Good? Sir, please do.
Sure, so academically, I think it's important, of course, to make sure the teachers are supported and they have the support to be successful with academic plans and whatnot. In addition to that, our students need supplemental instruction support, tutoring services. I've seen firsthand the benefit that that has here at the university. And so finding a way to implement that in our district, but earlier on in the elementary ages, so that way our students don't get behind by the time they're middle school and high school. They need that additional support. So early intervention. In addition, co-curricular programming. I participated in FFA, I did BPA, I did all the things that helped me to become a holistic student. It's not just academics, it's not just athletics, it's about preparing our youth for the future and everything that entails. Finally, about the facility, I think it's important that the district has a capital master plan and understanding what the priorities are and what the needs are of the district, not exclusively athletics or academics, but for the entire district. Thank you.
So I'm not sure where that came from with, I know Mr. Gonzalez is in the audience right now, and I don't know if maybe, I haven't heard that. At the site where the old Paul D, we have plans right now to build a new CTE facility. It's a $2 million facility. We're hoping some of that bond, if that bond does get passed on this election, November 4th, that money will go towards the CTE, which we'll do for CDLs, welding shop, so you can get certified in welding, woodworking, FFA. So any co-curricular activities will be at the Paul D. Henry site. We have already increased our classes at the middle school in culinary arts. We added that this year because there was only one elective that students could take. Man, I'm so nervous every time I see that card going up. So we have increased, but the only elective that the middle school kids could take was band. We given them culinary arts, not athletics, but PE. Athletics, like I mentioned before, when I first got up here, it is not the #1 priority at Las Vegas City Schools right now as I'm a board member. In the future, depending on who's on the board, it might be. I can't speak for them. But right now it is not. We are trying to put the money back in the curriculum, and it is facilities. We need facilities so our kids can have a safe learning environment.
Get that question one more time.
What is your plan to improve academics and not focus so much on sports? What are your future plans to enhance the educational value of our children?
We just have to piggyback off Ms. Lynn, Mike here. I really don't have an answer for that. I'm new, I don't know how the budget is. But I apologize for that. I would, once I find out where we stand on everything, moving money from athletic programs to classrooms and academics. That's all right now I have, I'm sorry.
As far as plans for academics, each school site has a school improvement plan. And those plans are focused on reading and math improvement for all students, okay? So each school has to provide that for the district. Also, highly qualified instructional materials should be used in the classroom, meaning that those are approved by the state, by New Mexico PED. So all of those materials in the classroom should be approved. We need to meet standards and benchmarks in all of our classrooms and all of our subject areas. We need to make sure that we are implementing and using classroom materials. Make sure that we're meeting the needs of the special needs students as well. That is important. Sometimes we forget that, but that is important that we meet the needs of all students and not just some students. And as far as sports, I believe that we have a lot of students that would not be graduating or even be in school if we did not have sports and academic or extracurricular activities. There are a lot of students that need that.
Yeah. Okay, well, academics. We've been offering advanced placement courses at West Las Vegas High School since 1988. And it's only grown, started with just English, and it's grown to include math, science, US history, Spanish, and so they've continued that. We've had the MESA program, we've had BPA, we've had all these different things, and we have dual credit with both Highlands University and Luna Community College. So some years we've had students that will graduate with an associate's degree before they graduate with their high school diploma. And so academics has always been extremely important. And I think it balances well with sports. It balances well with the music. Because I think most of us know if you've got good musicians, you've got very smart kids because it helps them think. And, you know, we keep up the music program from elementary all the way through high school. So yeah, I was part of the music program since I was in the 3rd grade.
Okay, like Linda said, you know, we do have all these programs. We have the CDL, culinary arts, graphic design, automotive, welding, woods, and health. We pretty much have all our schools, which include Don Cecilio, Rio Gallinas, Tony Center, Union Elementary, Valley Middle School, West Las Vegas High School, and West Las Vegas Middle School are all considered traditional schools, meaning they are above your regular low-performing schools. We only have one that is a low-performing school, which is our alternative school. And all we are doing right now is making sure that we have intervention, that we're working with all those students that are in need of intervention in reading, math, science, and so on and so forth. We've had our superintendent for 9 years, and that just shows that it's continuity in him working hard. Thank you.
Academics is the whole thing of bringing children to the plate and to learning, because that's what's going to take them through life. But academics also at the same time goes with extracurricular activity. Doesn't need to be sports, it can be chess, it can be different kinds, but we need to include everything together. You know, to me, and no disrespect to my superintendent at my school. I believe it's my school because I live in the West Side and that's why I'm running. As far, and I'm saying, to me, a superintendent should go to each classroom, each teacher, visit and see with the kids for academics or see what they need. That's what it's growth, is bringing together the staff, the principal, and everyone. What I want to do is bring everyone together and have different social gatherings so everybody knows everybody. And that's the important skills of feeling good with one another. It's kind of being your friend, okay? If you trust somebody, they're gonna tell you. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. The next question is more straightforward, hopefully. How will you support the current special education department? Yes, please.
Thank you. That's a very, very good question. IEPs are very important, okay? And I know because my wife's a teacher. It's very important that the special ed gets together again and have the master plan of the school, the board, the superintendent, and the policies to be put in place so they can help every individual that goes for an IEP. An IEP is very important. That's how you make that child succeed. If you give them the right tools, it's like they say, bring me a child and I can make him what you want, but you gotta give him the tools so he can get there. Yeah, thank you.
So at the national level, this is a difficult one because we are not fully funded in IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disabilities Act. The key issue is that the mandates that the federal government cover 40% of the additional costs associated with special education. However, this commitment has not been met, placing significant financial strain on local districts. Additionally, IDEA has not been updated since 2004. Right now, they are only funding 14%, now 12 this last year, 12% of the IDEA to meet that. 40% will never happen. Not as long as, and therefore just put a strain on the districts to fulfill those mandates that are mandated by the federal government on IDEA. Thank you.
I guess again, going back to all my years' experience, I've attended hundreds of IEP meetings. I know our kids. Some of them they're my heart. You see them even today and they'll come up and they'll hug you in Walmart or at the Plaza Park or wherever you happen to be. We have tried our best to always serve the needs of all of our students, especially our special needs. I mean, they're just accepted like everybody else. I'll tell the story about one year, we had a young man who was Down syndrome, and he decided he wanted to run for homecoming team. So he got out there and he did what everybody else did and stuff. Well, he won. He was the happiest young man I've ever seen. And he loved it. So for graduation, one of his favorite things was to always wear his cowboy hat. He wore his cowboy hat to graduation with his cap on top of it. And so we love them all.
As far as supporting the special ed department, I think first and foremost, training, helping our teachers understand the needs of our students in the district, just making sure that IEPs are done, that they're following the schedule, and meeting with parents and students more than just when the IEP is done and waiting for another year to come back and revisit. Of course, that is the timeline, but you have to work with your students all the time and not just that one time when you have an IEP done. There's a lot of kids on behavioral plans because of their needs. We need to work with the students and work with the staff so that they're understanding the needs of the students. Okay, all students are different, but the students with special needs really need the extra help, and then our staff needs the help to understand our students. And then ancillary staff is very important. Those are the people that are providing physical therapy, speech and language, those kind of things. We need those people in our schools to help our students.
All right, this one hits home. The two little ones that I adopted, they do have special needs. They both ADHD. Okay, Calvin and Iris, we already have an IEP set for them. I know it takes a village to raise a child. What I would like to see is we need more networking between the district and local agencies, like kids counseling, like any other anything that we have in this community. Let's see, the district needs to work hand in hand with agencies such as kids counseling. We need to, the district needs to work with agencies that have family peer support providers available to work with our students and their families to ensure needs are being met. We need to educate families on various resources available to them and connect them. Pretty much all in a nutshell, we need to get everybody, sorry.
So special education is huge. It's a big part of our district, and the number one thing is our budget. It comes down to money. Without money, we can't do anything. No public school can, whether it's West Las Vegas or Las Vegas City Schools. One of the biggest things is advocating for grants. We have received a $100,000 wellness grant for social emotional health for our kids this year. Our superintendent currently right now is going out. We received almost $1 million in various grants to help this situation, not only this situation in special ed, but other situations within our district. Our ancillary staff is very difficult to get. Since COVID, it has been very challenging to get individual to do IEPs in person. Now they're wanting to do them online, which is very challenging. I don't think you get what you need out of that. So we are pushing our superintendent, our board, our current board right now is pushing our superintendent to try to get the individuals in place. But the challenge comes down to financial. If we can't pay as much as of another entity, then we lose that ancillary staff, whether it's speech pathologist, psychologist, or whatever it might be. So it comes down to funding and really pushing our state representatives to help us. In fact, I met with the state rep this week to try to help us with that funding.
So for me, I look at it from the perspective of equity. We need to be able to meet our students where they are regardless of their circumstances. In addition, we have to prioritize compliance. To Mr. Quintana's point, budget is key. It has to be part of what we prioritize within the budget to ensure that we're complying with what is required of us by federal law, but we're providing also the additional necessary supports that our educators need. I'm very familiar with the challenges related to ancillary staff. At Kids Counseling, we have a psychologist who actually just does it through telehealth. And that's the way that we have to be creative to be able to partner with providers. In addition to that, our educators need the necessary training, as Ms. Gonzalez said, so they know how they can best help support the student within the team approach. Here at the university, I have the privilege of overseeing our accessibility services office, so I understand firsthand how academic accommodations are necessary for students to be successful in their education. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates. I'm gonna take the floor for a second so you can all breathe.
Stop.
Yeah, it's a 1 hour mark, and I always like to say this. Thank you all for your unwavering attention. Honestly, if I can get my students to focus like you all do in my classes, I would be the best educator there is. The thing that I wanted to just maybe talk about here is that I think I've gotten maybe 7 different questions about the 2 districts, the consolidation of the districts, and I don't know if it is fair to our counselors to give them 1 minute to talk about a problem that is as big as like, how would you solve the problem of racism in the United States? So if we have extra time, I'm gonna give them 2 minutes maybe to talk about that question, because I have 7 questions, I wanted to clarify that. Okay. All right. Is that a good break? That's a good break, right? All right.
Did you have time to go to the bathroom?
That's fine.
So the next question is about mental health. How will you address mental health at preventative? Sometimes I can't read this handwriting. Among students, staff, and parents. As the community and Las Vegas School District sees more students and families who are working through real life situations and circumstances, and students are then coming to school struggling due to the lack of support at home, the lack of understanding of their needs at home, at school, and then the district seeing a snowball effect that then can affect schoolwork, attendance, mental health, and family-friend relationships. If elected, how do you plan to support students, families, faculty, and staff who are having to navigate tough situations and circumstances within the district and classroom walls? And a related parallel question is, drugs, vaping, both pot and nicotine is really bad at Las Vegas City schools, middle school and high school. We don't have enough security. How will you address this problem? I'm placing this problem to be part of the mental health issue. So if you want to address that within that question as well, that's your prerogative. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I'll say I have a lot of experience in addressing everything that was asked. I recognize that a lot of individuals in our community, including myself, had adverse childhood experiences and trauma. And if we do not work on the early on prevention to address these types of issues and challenges will continue to impact our students throughout their education and through adulthood. Prevention is something that I have direct experience doing. I use this analogy, taking an upstream approach, where we are teaching students social emotional learning, help-seeking behaviors. I am very privileged that I've been able to grow here at the university, all the mental health services that the university offers, both a counseling center, virtual mental health services, a student health clinic, a food pantry, basic needs. We have taken and expanded it because I see the value. I recognize the value in ensuring that these needs of our youth and our students are met. Thank you.
So as a current member at Las Vegas City Schools, I do recognize that we do have an issue with vaping and various other drugs on our campuses. We are tackling as best as possible. Just recently, we had an issue with some student athletes that our superintendent has a zero tolerance for it. She doesn't try to crucify kids when they do stub their toe. She gives them an opportunity to redeem themselves and learn from the experience and let them know that there is consequences. We are right now for security. I know that was one of the questions. There were so many questions. I don't know. I'm just kind of picking a couple. Security, we did apply for a grant with a partnership with Lano, and we did receive that grant, and that is going to help us to put more security on our campuses. But again, this goes back to budget. If we lose enrollment, we lower our budget. In return, we have less staff on our campuses. So we are doing what we can to get our enrollment back up, so we get our budget, but we are applying for every grant that there is out there. We have great, our superintendent is great at finding grants. Like I mentioned before, probably at least $1 million this year alone that she has applied for and we have received.
Resources. We need more resources here in Las Vegas to help with the drug and alcohol problem that's in our schools. More security. I heard there was only one security person at each one of our schools. like Mike was saying, we need, hopefully, our budget, everything that, the money we're looking for gets approved, so we could actually go and hire more people for everything we need. Thank you.
As far as mental health and safety, each school district is required to have a wellness plan and also a safety plan in place for your district. So I believe that following procedures as far as your plans, but for mental health, that is included in your wellness plan. There are several resources that should be listed in that plan, but there's also El Centro on site at the high school and middle school where they have resources to help with mental health issues, that kind of thing. Unfortunately, counselors in the school, they are counselors, but a lot of times it's not just, they don't get to help with the mental health aspect of in the school district. They have to deal with testing and all kinds of different things like that. So those are things that maybe we could work on as far as helping our counselors to be able to help our students on site with those kind of issues. But utilizing the resources in the community to help with mental health issues. And then as far as safety, again, training for our staff, maybe collaborating.
Okay, so we do have social emotional programs mixed in with our curriculum. We have the school-based wellness program housed at the old middle school gym. We have a counselor at every school site, and having been a counselor for 25 years, I think it was, I learned very quickly that if you respect the kids, they'll come to you with a problem. But each child, each student will find one staff member someplace within the school district that they trust, that they connect to, that they can open up to. So it's not just the focused or the certified programs, it's every single individual has to be there for the positive well-being of each student. I had a student, one of my last years there, who was homeless. He comes into my office one day and he tells me, in the talk, he says, I've never had one of my own. And I said, one of your own what? He said, I've never had my own pillow.
Like Linda said, you know, these are sad situations, and not only with everyone here. We thank Ms. Boya and the kids counseling that are in our district. They come in and they counsel from elementary all the way up to high school in helping with our students. We also have a mentorship program that was initiated by one of our security officers that is retired. We do have a lot of retired police officers that are now security in our schools, which helps with the drug situations, which helps with the vaping, and that they know how to talk to these kids. And therefore, the mentorship program has really expanded. We have also the writing club, where students are able to express their life and how they see themselves, whether they're homeless, whether they're come from very good backgrounds, it doesn't matter. These kids, this is their output. This is what they do to make sure that they are included. Thank you.
It's great that the mental health is important because that starts at home, but it also goes to school. Like I was telling you earlier, I was a school bus driver for 47 years, and kids get to trust you, they tell you. Then I take it back to the counselor, okay? That's reality, but it takes a village to grow a child. The school-based health centers are great, and I think that was one of, back there, former Representative Barbara Casey's idea. I still remember when I first got there, she pushed me for that, for statewide, not just for my district. But it's important that we do have them, and it's important that we work with the parents and the students. Today, there's a lot of students that are not with their fathers and mothers. I know because I'm still a bus driver in Mora. when I go drive and they're with their grandparents. I know how that is, and we need to make sure that all of us work together to get the best benefit for that student, so he can get the mental health that he needs and the social health they need for the parents and the grandparents. And security, we could work, so, thank you.
Do you think bullying is a problem in these schools? What can be done? Bullying is a problem, do you think?
Well, bullying is a problem everywhere. I see it because, again, I'm a school bus driver and my wife's a teacher. She tells me about different things, okay? Bullying, I was bullied when I was in school, okay? Back then, I used to weigh almost 290 pounds, okay? So they used to call me corny because my dad used to grow corn, okay? So they thought that I would eat all the corn, okay? So if anybody knows about bullying, I know about bullying, okay? And it's there. The one thing that I do when I drive my bus or I see another kid bullying, I do tell the teacher and write it up. And it's important that we do and we need to educate students in the classroom about bullying, because bullying is everywhere. Bullying is even out here in society. I get bullied. I get calls and I get bullied. The reality is how we deal with it, not how we go negative on it, we go positive. Thank you.
Sister, he said, yes, there is bullying, doesn't matter where it's at, whether it's with the elementary, whether it's middle school, whether it's high school, it's there. It's in the way that we have either the teacher or the counselors that are there to address them and to make sure that these kids know that they are loved, know that they are somebody and will be somebody in their lifetime. How to address bullying is very, very difficult because, you know, every teacher is stressed back and forth and sometimes it's difficult for them. It's better to set it aside than to really hit it head on. So how do you address bullying is pretty much having the counselors and the teachers go to some type of training to address the bullying and how they can address it to their students. That's kind of hard me to really say how to address it. Thank you.
Okay, so there's still the old-fashioned, you know, one-on-one bullying, but I think these days it's mostly cyberbullying. Their cell phones, their computers, and now we're adding AI into all of this. So like it's just expanding, blowing up. And I think if you talk to the kids when you catch them doing something, you have to address them straight on personally. Don't do this. This hurts this person. And I know there are new policies coming out statewide for AI, and it's going to be difficult, but you have to address it. You can't just, you know, put on your blinders and walk by. If you see something, you stop it. Even after I've been out of school 13 years, if I see something, you'll hear my voice ringing at the football field or in the gym or telling somebody to stop doing what they're doing. But something that we always have to address, can't ignore it.
Like Mr. Vihel said, there's a lot of bullying going on. There's all types of bullying. I think that teaching your kids to stand up and tell someone, I think that we need to start, you know, teaching our kids that they do need to tell someone. Before it was, you know, they used to say, you know, don't be a rat, don't tell anybody, but you need to stand up, teach your kids to stand up and tell someone that they're being bullied. Teach them coping skills, teach them how to deal with them. And it's a learned behavior. I mean, if your mom and dad are bullies, they're gonna end up being bullies. So teach them, you know, we just need to learn or teach them some coping skills, teach them those kind of things. But also there's policies and policies put in place in the school districts, in the handbooks So I think that we need to follow them, follow whatever the consequences are and stick to the matrix and make sure that students are being held accountable for being bullies in the school district. If it doesn't happen, then the next kid's gonna say, well, they got away with it, I can get away with it. So follow the policies and procedures.
To stop bullying, I don't know if we could ever stop bullying. I coached minor league baseball through the last five years that I've been back. I went door to door one day and I had one of my little guys that lives down the street from me, his older brother, came to me and said that he had to go pick up his brother for bullying. So they were bullying him. And to stop it, I don't know if there's any way to stop it. Ways we could is have bullying presentations within the school. I mean, educate students about different types of bullying and what to do if they are bullied. Tell somebody, tell your counselors, tell your teachers. We have to put a stop to it. Thank you.
So bullying is big in all school districts, not just ours or just West Las Vegas. In our community, it's everywhere. I think we need to work hand in hand with our coaches, our sponsors, our teachers, our counselors, and that's the only way we're gonna try to tackle some of it. I don't think we could ever put a stop to it, but we can probably sure get it better. We have our current superintendent put an anonymous box in each school. And so kids, if they feel like they can't tell somebody, they can put something in there and the principals are to check it, just to make sure that kids have the right to go and tell somebody if something is going on. Things like that, because kids aren't gonna say because they're afraid of retaliation. But again, it comes down to staff, counselors, and letting the kids know that there's consequences for their actions. That's the biggest thing, is holding kids accountable.
So I do agree that bullying happens, and it is a result of students being a product of their environment. I do believe that accountability is critical. Here at the university, I oversee and administer the student code of conduct. So I know firsthand how challenging it can be to address bullying and harassment. In addition to that, I think that there is opportunity, like, yes, we're never gonna get it completely done away with, but as parents, as educators, as school board members, encouraging a culture where students see something, say something, even if it's not them experiencing it, bystander intervention is something that we should be teaching our kids, that if they see something happening, they should tell someone. I also think that there's opportunity to look at restorative justice practices and how we teach our kids that, you know, you can come together beyond, it's not, oh, you're a bully and they're labeled like that forever, but how can we come together and ensure that our youth are not impacted by, you know, these decisions and things that happen for the future. Thank you.
Good question. Which educational policies are most important for you? What is your plan in encouraging students, ensuring students are prepared for meaningful careers? Yeah. I thought, wait, sorry, I mixed this. Let's go with this. This wasn't supposed to be there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, wait, why is this here? It's not, the handwriting, I'm sorry. It's causing me problems sometimes. All right, which educational policies are most important for you?
So there's a lot. I'm familiar with lots of different policies, but what I will say priority for me would be is to understand the district policies. And that's the primary role of a board, is to develop and approve policy. So ensuring that policies are in place that need to be, kind of do like a policy audit. What is missing? What do we need to do? Of course, there's state policies that we have to comply with. So ensuring that, you know, state procurement laws, audit, all of those things are in place, because I believe that if we have our policies and our processes solid in adherence with what's required of us, then that makes us a healthier organization to be able to begin to impact other areas within the district. So I would take a high level policy audit overview and understand what is missing and where we need to improve. And of course, look at federal and state compliance requirements for policy as well.
So there's so many policies. We have an agency that helps us with our policies and updates our policies, and our board adopts several policies throughout the year. Our superintendent helps the president put them on our agenda to keep our policies updated. Unfortunately, at Las Vegas City Schools, we have some policies that haven't been addressed in over 10 years. So we're actively going through our policies right now. One policy that I've actually is going to be on our agenda for this coming week, this following week on board meeting, is a policy for our co-curricular activities, including our athletes and our BPA and FFA. Right now, we don't have anything in place. If a kid has 3 Fs, they still have the ability to play sports or be in a co-curricular activity because there is no policy in place. So I asked the superintendent to put it on the agenda to see if our board will adopt it and push that we hold our kids to a higher standard. And I think that's where it starts. NMA has a policy in place that it's by semester, so they can be ineligible for the whole first part of the school year and still be attending these activities, which the board is going to put something higher in there. We can never go below, but we can go higher. So we're going to set that standard.
We have to ensure we are not only meeting but exceeding state standards. Like Ms. Blair said, she hit everything. I mean, there's nothing else we could really say is we have to follow policy, and like Mr. Sorry, I'm not a very person to come out and speak, but that's pretty much what I have, is just we have to exceed what the state is qualified, that we have to qualify for. Thank you.
As far as educational policies, I believe that as a board, you have to know what your board policies are first and what your role is on the board and what you should be doing as a board member. So following board policy first, then your educational policies within the school district, there's district policy, then there's school site policy. So I believe that following policy in order is important. But like Mr. Quintana said, there's tons of policies that have to be approved every year. So I believe that you have to review and not just vote to change something if you haven't reviewed everything in full. So make sure that you review the policy, you make sure that it's meeting the needs of all students in your district and all staff, just making sure that it does meet the needs of everyone that you are working for. So I believe that a policy review and voting on policy is important as long as it covers everyone.
So when I first got on the board 8.5 years ago, I went into the superintendent's office, talked to his executive secretary, and I said, can I have a copy of the policies, right? She pulled out 2 binders that were probably 4 or 5 inches thick each. So she wanted to hand me this big old thing, and I thought, maybe I'll look at them online. So as it goes through, the New Mexico School Board Association has a branch called Policy Service Advisory. They go through, and every time the legislature passes a new law that affects the schools, they'll write a new policy that goes in. They pass it on to us, like Mr. Quintana said, and the board goes over it, adopts it, puts it in. And so sometimes, yeah, you're not gonna see every single policy all the time, but we know they're there. If we have a question, we have something that we have to address, we can go look it up. We don't just sit down and say, oh, yeah, I don't think I like that one, but we're gonna go ahead and follow it. But you know, you get to see everything.
Well, much that I can say as far as what everyone has said as far as the policies are concerned. When we do adopt a policy, and sometimes they're sent to us, either we get a portion of policies that come to us, they're on the board agenda for us to review. Then at our next board meeting, we either adopt them, or if we're not in unison with them, and they don't mirror our policy, then at that time we make the changes and we say, we want to bring this back. We are not gonna vote on them right now until we know that they mirror the policies that the district has to run. Like Linda said, there's tons and tons of policy. Even in the 20 years that I've been on this board, the policies change constantly. They have to change with whatever legislative say, and then we bring them. As an association, we also do resolutions based on those policies. So they can change constantly. Thank you.
He said it all, but I'll say some more. But policies and procedures are very important. I really believe that if I'm elected to the board, I will bring this subject up and to the whole board, and hopefully we can all sit down as a board and review, have retreats and review different policies. Like you're saying, there is a lot of policies. I belong to the Rio Grande board. There's policies for everything, okay? And it's very important that we respect every policy that is put in place, and we know what we do for the people, for our staff, for our students, okay? And with that's a continuation of reviewing all the policies and making sure that we are compliant with all the policies so no one can come back to us. Thank you.
Thank you. We will have two last round of questions. I will tell you the question. First question is about the 2 districts. I've gotten 6 different question cards about this. I just want to read them out loud so people get to hear how the question is framed. Please explain how Las Vegas benefits from having 2 school districts. What do you feel about consolidation? Please speak to why we have 2 districts when number of students is declining. With decreasing city population, declining student numbers, decreasing budget, your thoughts on consolidation of east-west schools to free up administration dollars. With the cost of education increasing and falling enrollment, what can you say about consolidating the Las Vegas school districts? I'm really proud of being able to read that handwriting. How do you feel about consolidating both districts would save a lot of money? Okay, so.
And this one, y'all get 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. Floor is yours, Mr. D.
Floor is mine, okay. This has been an issue for many years, consolidation, I'll start with that. The reason, consolidation, if we consolidate the school districts and my personal and what they tell me out in the community, okay? Consolidation, it's good in one way and it's bad in another, okay? I'll tell you, like they're saying, if you consolidate, maybe you save on staff, on administration, maybe. That's still not, because you actually have to do a good study on that. 2, the reason I don't believe in consolidation, because if one school suspends a child, that child and that parent have the opportunity to go to the next school if they're accepted, so they can continue getting their education and they don't have to move them out of town. Okay, so that's the reason of not consolidation, because, and then it's been here for many years. If something is not broken, don't fix it, right? That's what I've been taught in life. So I believe that with the 2 districts, that way they have the opportunity to go to west or east, and that's why I stand where I stand. Thank you very much.
Hold on just a second, I didn't change my timer.
I was too fast.
Tell me to sit down.
Okay,
Okay, consolidation, that has been around since the city was consolidated in 1972, and the schools were not. And the reason for that is because of the history of West Las Vegas. West Las Vegas is a underprivileged side of town, and if in 2007 both East and West got together to see how it would benefit the city if we consolidated. It would not be fair up to the two city boards of 10 individuals to decide whether consolidation is right or wrong. It would have to go then to the community of voters, in my opinion. It doesn't come from 10 people making that decision. To me, I grew up West Las Vegas, I graduated from West Las Vegas. West Las Vegas is in our heart. West Las Vegas has always been the underdog of everything, I can say, of everything, they've been the underdog. So at one time, I did consider that I would vote for consolidation. But then I started reading the history of why we became 2 school districts. And if all of you would take that opportunity to read about why we are 2 districts, you would understand why consolidation is not a good thing for either of us. And that's just my personal opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, you'd have to go back to the history of Las Vegas, way, way back. And someone gave me a book a few years back that talked about how education started in Las Vegas. And yes, each school, elementary school was there, but West Las Vegas did not have a secondary school. So anybody from, once they finished 6th grade, if they wanted to go to high school, they had to walk all the way across and either go to IC High School or Las Vegas High School. It wasn't Robertson back then. Okay. My mom graduated from Las Vegas High School. And it's different. If you were to go into the schools and spend any time, you will see that the personality of a school is totally different. West Las Vegas has one whole personality, City Schools has another. And I'm not putting anybody down. My daughter taught at City Schools. My 2 granddaughters graduated because she was there. I tried to get her to send them to us, but she said, "Do you remember when you told me that I had to go to school where I worked?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, they have to go to school where I worked." But anyway, so it's a long process. And I was told this several years ago, if we were to consolidate the schools, then the property taxes in Old Town would go up. And how in the world are we gonna say, yep, we want all of these property taxes to increase to the same level as East Las Vegas? And yet we don't get the same benefits. I mean, the one that I hear the most is, if you wanted to buy a house in Old Town, the banks wouldn't finance. If you bought a house in Newtown, it would. So, there's a lot of different things, but I'm for keeping things the way they are.
So I've had the privilege of working for both school districts. I worked at West for 20 years and again here for 5 years. West was very good to me. I actually started my kids in school there. They went to school there one till he was in the 5th grade and the other till he was in the 3rd grade, but I did have my kids there at West Las Vegas. The funding, I believe that may change as far as what you receive, like I said, federal programming. The difference that I've seen working when I was working at Las Vegas City Schools, where they received about 500 or 600,000 for Title I funding. On the other side, West Las Vegas, they were receiving a little over $1 million. So the budgets that I was working with were totally different, almost half of what I was working with when I was at West Las Vegas. So I believe that the funding may change as far as that goes, but also, again, the funding is based on your economics and your free and reduced lunch counts. So a lot of your federal funding is based on those counts. So whenever you receive your funding, if you have students that are receiving free lunch, all those numbers, all of that's gonna add up and that's how you receive your federal funding. So again, like you said, if we combined, you're still gonna have that population. I'm just not sure how that's gonna affect if you do combine. So I'm not sure where I sit with that as far as combining schools, or consolidating the school districts, but, I believe that your funding may be affected as far as that goes.
Consolidating schools, that's a hard one for east and west. I mean, because most of us went to east, some of us went to west. That's hard. Myself, I don't have I don't know which way to turn on that. But like Ms. Ludi said, it couldn't be up to whoever's in the board, 10 people, to make that decision. It would actually have to be a community-based election to see what we would do. I don't know the budgets. I don't know any of the stuff that Mrs. Gonzalez was talking about on stuff. I'm brand new, and I couldn't answer those questions on free lunches and any of that. But consolidating right now, I'm still on the fence on what to do with that. Thank you.
I'm 100% in favor of it. We're one community, and I am tired of the division between this community. At one time, I was the president of the Las Vegas Little League, and then for some reason, the president was no longer at the West Las Vegas Little League, so they put me the president of both sides. You talk about challenge. That was a challenge, being the president of two different Little Leagues in the same community. We brought it up to the board, and I was one vote short of dissolving both charters and only having one charter. The biggest questions that everybody was concerned with is what was the name of that Little League gonna be and what were the colors? That was it. And what none of us have talked about up here on this panel is what do the kids want?
Yeah.
What do the kids really want? Back in the day when I went to school, you didn't date a girl from the west side, you didn't hang out with people from the west side. Those days are gone. I hate to say it, but we need to evolve as a community. Back in the day, like she talked about back in the 60s and 70s, well, there was 2 city councilors, there's 2 mayors, there's 2 everything. Should we have stayed like that? No. Let's have one school district. And yes, I am big on budget and finances, but I am tired of the division. You go to any other community, Taos, Silver City, whatever, it is one school district. Yes, Silver City and Cobre, they're close together, but they are 2 different towns. We are in the same community and we need to have one school district. So I'm absolutely in favor of it. Ms. Pacheco, a former board member on Las Vegas City Schools, said that there was talk and they did sit down at the table with West Las Vegas, and the governor stated that the boards do have to approve it. It would be the boards that would have to approve it, and then from there we would go to a general election. And there was talk, and the attorneys were this was about 10 years ago or so, and I think we need to get back to that place. I would resign and give my seat to somebody else if we had to consolidate the board just to make that happen.
I don't know how I follow that up, but first of all, I would like to acknowledge the history. Because you can see that we are a community that is rooted in traditions and history, and so I want to acknowledge that. I don't want to say that I'm in favor of it or not, because I don't know enough about the impact, about any potential unintended consequences. What does that look like for funding? How does that impact our students? I do, though, however, see opportunity. I strongly feel, as Mr. Quintana mentioned, that when we're one community, we're thriving together. I love seeing West succeed. I know Superintendent Gutierrez very well. We've done a lot of community work. I am so proud of what West Las Vegas is doing. I also just want to say that, I also want to say that I feel that when there's too much what we call envidia or jealousy that happens, we have to take that down and really acknowledge that as a community, when we work together, when we collaborate, what's working well for you? Is there some partnership that we can establish? I know West Las Vegas Schools has started a youth center. That is a great thing. And I know there was an idea that that would be open to the entire community, but there's still this perception that that's at West. So anybody from East can't go over there. what other opportunities are there for us to work together? So is consolidation something I support of? I think I'm in support of. I believe the verdict is still out because I do not have enough information to fully understand the impact. But what I am in favor of is Las Vegas education systems working together collaboratively for the betterment of our youth and for our future generations.
Thank you all. Before I ask the candidates the last question, I just wanted to say I'm learning a lot about this conversation myself because this is my 4th year living in the community, and it was, I think, my first couple of weeks in the Douglas Hall down there. My custodian friend Mark came up to me and said, "Professor, did you go to West or Robertson?" And I looked at him, I said, "Mark, I went to high school in Turkey, in Istanbul." Yeah, so ever since I've been learning a lot about this division and finding it a very interesting topic. So thank you all for all this input you brought for the candidate forum. Now, what I'm going to first do is acknowledge our stakeholders, our sponsors today, and before I give the floor for the candidates to make their final appeal. We were able to do these candidate forums thanks to our community stakeholders. When I say we, I'm talking about New Mexico Highlands University Political Science Department, San Miguel County Federation of Democratic Women, Optic, Animal Advocates of Northern New Mexico, Las Vegas for the People, Veterans of Foreign Wars and Vietnam Veterans, Little Las Vegas Media Marketing Committee, Las Vegas First, American Association of University Women. Thank you for all the community participation we got. And the last question I ask is going to be a personal question. What makes you the best candidate? Why are you running for school board? Many people say they are running for the school board to help students, teachers, or administrators, and that's important. But setting that aside for a moment, what's your personal motivation for running? What really inspired you to step forward, and how do you see this role helping you grow or benefit on a personal level? Can we have time for 2 minutes as well, so you guys can have enough time to turn this into a closing remark to your closing remarks?
I'm ready.
Thank you.
So, thank you. So as I've shared with you all, this is my community. I'm invested in this community. When we talk about students from the district, decreasing, moving out, I look back when I graduated from Robertson High School. Of 7 close friends, I'm the only one who's still here. I'm the only one who still chooses to live here, chooses to give back to my community. I'd be happy to share with you all a long list of investments that I've made in the community over the years through volunteer service. I emphasize the word service because it's not about me. It's not about the accolades that I can, get for serving on the board. I'm committed to this community. I'm committed to this district. My experience and the years of volunteerism that I've done throughout the years of service shows that my commitment. On a personal level, I have 2 beautiful children that attend the district. I am tired of everybody saying like, oh, this is the way things should be. I recognize that because of my education, because of my experience, I have privilege and social capital. I want to use the benefits that I've received of education to help make a difference for the community, for my kids, for their friends, for the future generations of our community, because I see the value. I've experienced the value in education and what that means. When I went to Las Vegas City Schools, did I think I was gonna, be a doctor and have a career that I do? No, but people invested in me along the way. And I believe in bringing that same investment to our youth in our communities, through our teachers, through our educators, through our extracurricular, co-curricular programming, through collaboration and partnerships with the other school districts, with the higher education institutions together. Together, we can do this as a community, and I am committed to this community, to our future generations. Thank you.
Well, this is my community. I am highly invested in this community with my various businesses that I own here in this community. I choose to live here. I don't have to live here, and I don't think any of us have to live here. But by having public education in our town and having a successful one, it keeps people here in Las Vegas. If our public education dies, our town will die. And that's the only reason why I'm on this board. I have no business on this board. My time is very, very crucial. I am split up in several ways. Mr. Witters himself asked me this morning, why am I doing this? It's because I want this better. I have 2 kids that have already graduated from Robertson. I have 1 that's currently there. I want to make it better. What's good for my kid is good for everybody's kid. And I'm trying to make it the best possible experience for her and give her an education. My oldest child, she's here at Highland. She went to the nursing program, and she went over there and she said Robertson High School did not get her prepared for college. She had to learn on her own. So on my middle child, I made it a point. I put her in Highlands University and Luna Community College since she was a freshman. There's a lot of kids, a lot of parents that don't have that ability to do that. I was able to do that for her, so she was prepared when she went to Colorado. My youngest, I don't want her to be over there with a 12-year-old with a bunch of 18-year-olds going to school at Highlands or Luna. I want to be able to do it within our district. So my challenge is to put the curriculum back in the classroom and make it a better learning environment and allowing the kids to have test scores. Just so you guys are all aware, 2 years ago when I got on the board, or 4 years ago when I got on the board, they told me that the graduation rate at Robertson High School is over 80%. It's not, it's 69%. 69% of our kids are graduating from Robertson High School. That is way below the state. 30 seconds scares me always. Lost my train of thought there, but we have 69% of our kids that are graduating, and that is way below the state mandate or state minimum. We need to do a better job, and being on the board, I will do what I do in all my business to give it 120%. I am successful, and I will be successful on this board.
I'm with Mr. Quintana. I have 2 kids that are on the west side.
The west side?
On the west side, yes. I don't have to be running for board, but I see how I have 2 nephews and friends, kids, and people that are in the east side. And I just want the greater good for each and every one of these children. I don't know else what to say. I'm not good for words, but I just want to make sure that I'm here for all the students, all the staff, and all the faculty to try to do what I can for each and every kid that goes into East Las Vegas schools. Thank you.
Again, I've been here in the community for many years. We've dedicated a lot of time, my family, my husband and I have dedicated a lot of time to the school districts, and we've served so many kids through coaching and teaching and everything that we've done within the school district, after school programming, just different ways that we've been able to serve the community as far as serving students. Again, I've been able to be a coach, a teacher, administrator, an advocate for our students. Again, we need to serve all students and not just some students. We need to be able to be there be able to meet the needs of all students within our community. Again, I'll bring back the homeless student population. Those are students that need services, foster students, being able to service those students as well, special needs students. I believe that all students deserve a chance. And if they have that little bit of hope, and they know that somebody's there for them and to be able to serve them within the school district, having a place for them to go every day and feel needed and wanted within the school district, I believe that's a big thing. Students need a safe place to go every day, even if it's just for those hours that they're in school. So we need to be able to provide that environment for our students. Our staff as well, sometimes our staff needs that type of support as well, just having a welcoming environment and a safe environment for them to be during the day. Again, I'm committed to everything for our students and our staff. And I believe that students should always come first when making decisions in education, and all decisions are made in the best interest of students. So an educator or an administrator once told me you should always put students first, and that stuck with me always. So I believe students should be number one.
Okay, well, I grew up in Las Vegas. I wasn't born here. I was I was born in DC when my dad was going to law school. Moved here when I was 1 year old. So basically, I've lived here 99.9% of my life. I graduated from West Las Vegas High School in '69. I attended Highlands University. I got my BA, my MA, and so I've been here. I do things within the community because this is home. This is where we belong. I'm a member of the Las Vegas Area Association of Retired Educators. Vice president now. We meet every month, try to do things and keep retired teachers informed. I taught catechism for a while. Anything I can do for the kids. I have gone to weddings, funerals, baby showers, all kinds of things of former students. They're, West Las Vegas is my heart. Right now, I'm serving on the board with Christine, and the three gentlemen that are on the board were all my former students. So I've got this connection and I've got this experience, 36 years in education. Everybody told me, why didn't you just retire after 25? And I thought, nah, I'm not ready. Why did I run? A couple of years after I retired, I was walking around and my friend and I walk every day and we were chatting away and stuff. And I thought, she said, you're not happy with what's going on. And I thought, well, maybe I should stop complaining and do something about it. So then I ran for the board. I was lucky enough to make it in. And I'm vice president now at the school board. I serve on the finance committee with Mr. Witters and some other members, and we go through everything. So I know all the different aspects. I know from the classroom, from the finances, from the athletics, from the academics. So I would like to continue to work for the people.
First of all, I am not an educator, so please forgive me for that. What I am is a community member. I was assistant vice president for the local credit union here for 22 years. I traveled with my husband, who was in the military for 22 years. We came back home in 1997. At that time, I had lots and nephews and nieces. I didn't have all the grandchildren yet, but so working, I've been on the economic development. I've been on the Chamber of Commerce. I was the board of trustee for the hospital. I can go on and on and on about all the community service that I was on. But what has fulfilled me the most is being part of the district. I graduated in 1975. Gary and I left Las Vegas in 1976, correct, Gary? 1976. And when he retired, we decided to come back home. When I saw what was going on, not only in the community, but in the schools, I wanted to be part of that. So I ran for the board in 2002, somewhere like that. I lost by I think it was 20-some votes. But nonetheless, I came back and gave it a second try. And I've been on the board since, because I really feel that giving back to the community is the most important thing that you can do as an individual. And I've never regretted one thing that I've done in my entire career. And being on the board already for 20 years means that I have that in my heart. I've seen the growth. I've seen where we've been to where we are right now. Our graduation rate is at 84.3% right now. And we're proud. We, okay,
Well, thank you all today for inviting me here, thank all the candidates that want to be in public service. Public service is not easy, anyone that's been in public service knows that, believe me, once you're running, yeah, then now the legislature dropped it, and a friend of mine said, "But do you want to go into the board, Richard? At the legislature, you're making 75, over here, you're gonna make 45. I said, well, it's not the pay, okay? To me, I really love the community. I love where I live. I invested, like all of you invested in the community. I love to be here. I work with different people everywhere I go. I talk to them. I now started 2 years ago a business, a CDL. Elaine brought me in and with the board, and we did. I haven't called this year. Just so you know, but we graduates from what Robertson High School in our school for truck driving. They're employed. They very successful. It's what people want to do. Give the children the opportunity. I want to serve you in the board to try to bring new ideas. And as my former experience, I've always loved to work with people. Not only with people, but like I told you, I was a contractor, a school bus contractor for 47 years. I love kids. I know they come to you, they tell you what they need. Even the kids that I drove many years ago have kids now. They say, that's the bus driver that suspended me because I was being bad in the bus, okay? So, but the reality is, I taught them what was good and what was bad, okay? They might not like me, some of them, but it's policy. And like I tell you, that's one thing I'm gonna be strong on if I'm elected. It's policies and procedures to make sure we're doing everything that's right for the students and the staff. It's very important because we all have to work together, and the people that bring us those students to the school, the parents, most important. Thank you.
Thank you, all candidates. I want to ask from our audience to give a round of applause to all the candidates. It's not easy being up here. It's unnerving. Yes. Public office is unnerving. Sorry for putting a fire under your feet. I have learned a lot myself, and good luck to you all. Thank you all for coming. And this concludes our local election candidate forum. Of course.
There's a million things to learn.
Oh, maybe I just met in Massachusetts, but I did my PhD, so
Thank you. I like it.
Thank you.
Not so much we wanted to say it, then we're gonna come out. You've always been around. Still around.
I believe in all the communities.